Hi there, my name is, oh wait, am I going?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Hi there, my name is Marcel Andrade and I'm on the affirmative side. The negative believes that the power of eminent domain in its current form is completely just. And well within the government's power. We, the affirmative, believe that eminent domain in its current incarnation is a gross overreach of government power into the rights of private citizens. And here are our refutations. Contention 1. Alex states that the use of eminent domain for economic development presents significant benefits to the community. He only cites one specific instance in Texas in which his claim rings true. I happen to have an instance of which eminent domain was abused under the guise of public benefit. As stated by Jake Rawson, a writer from mentalfloss.com on April 28, 2015, there are no shortage of golf courses in West Palm Beach, Florida, which is why John and Wendy Zamanek were particularly frustrated that the county had targeted their neighborhood for a facelift. In the mid-1980s, over 300 homes were purchased and raised to make way for a new course, and most families sold their homes and moved willingly. The Zamaneks were one of the handful who did not. They watched as a community of empty houses became dilapidated and ransacked while their own land values plummeted. And at one point, their home was earmarked to be the residence of the golf course's manager. According to the Sun-Sentinel, they protracted legal battles, and then that culminated in them being forced out of their home in 2002. The postscript: the golf course was never built. And relating back to Maddie's first speech, that the words public use can and are twisted beyond recognition in cases of eminent domain abuse. Contention 2. Alex states that the concept of public use is evolving. As this may ring true in some areas, like Houston, a vast majority of Americans still face eminent domain abuse under the guise of public use. For example, a case just recently in Pennsylvania highlights the abuse of public use caught by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. According to Susan Phillips, a writer for State Impact, an affiliate of NPR, on December 20, 2016. In September, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled in the landmark Robinson Township case, which overturned aspects of the state's new oil and gas law, Act 13. The legislature could not grant eminent domain authority to companies building gas storage facilities, and it was hinged on the fact that the public was not primary and paramount the beneficiary as the state has claimed. Oh my God. My third contention is that Alex states that Maddie's third argument is simply outdated and that she has no idea how many cases of eminent domain happen today. The site jdsper.com lists at least 6 cases of eminent domain and its possible abuse in the state of California in this past year of 2016. The article written by journalist Kevin Brodell notes that within the past year, the state of California there has been 6 different disputed eminent domain cases, and one case in which the use of inverse condemnation was used by the state. Inverse condemnation is a term used in the law to describe a situation in which the government takes property but fails to pay the compensation required by the Fifth Amendment. Therefore, Alex's claim that the affirmative has no idea how many eminent domain cases are still happening to date is not true. The overreach of eminent domain is still happening and is a poignant threat to private property owners. My fourth and final contention is that Alex's final argument is true, but in certain circumstances many of the states face where those laws were instituted that has been led to being clear gaps in the protections that those laws were supposed to provide to their respective adherents. And an article from the Washington Post elaborates on these circumstantial laws that were instituted after the Kelo decision. Isla Solomon, a professor of law and contributor to the Washington Post, states, unfortunately, the breathing spell seems to be ending. Latest condemnation by the CRDA is a part of a new wave of eminent domain abuse as cities and redevelopment agencies try to regain some of the power that they have lost in showing even with the power of the Kelo decision gave the states to institute laws. Oh, do I stand open for cross-examination?
I hope so.
Okay, yeah.
1 minute.
In your third contention, when you talk about the 6 modern-day cases, in Maddie's argument, she talks about how there's an increase that's going 3 times per year. Would you say that 6 cases would be the same as 3 times increases since those dates?
Well, that was only in the state of California. There is many cases of eminent domain abuse nationwide.
Do you know the number of cases nationwide?
No.
Alright. And then for your fourth contention, when you talk about the gaps in the state's legislature, do you think that they should make the states more strict, or do you think that it's actually necessary for a federal level?
We need blanket-wide protections on private property owners and for private property owners.
Right. have no further questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, second affirmative.